When we think of AI, our minds usually jump to some really complex, high-tech stuff. But what if we looked at it in a totally different way? What if voice AI wasn't just a piece of software, but was actually your next, and maybe even your best, employee? Today, we're going to break down how this tech can become the ultimate hire for your business.
Okay, first, let's talk about a problem that, well, every business owner knows in their bones. The dreaded unanswered call. It's not just a missed chance, right? It's a constant leak, a hole in your pocket where revenue just slips away. Brace yourself for this number. Studies show that small and medium-sized businesses miss up to 62% of their incoming phone calls. Let that sink in. That is nearly 2/3 of your potential customers who are trying to give you money and they're just hearing a dial tone, or even worse, a busy signal.
So let's just ask a simple question, a what-if scenario. What if that 62% number wasn't a thing? What if it was zero? Just imagine for a second. What if your business could grab every single call, every single time, no matter what else was going on?
Well, that's exactly where the solution comes into play. It's time to meet your new AI employee. Seriously, forget the jargon, forget the complexity for a minute, and just think of this as the most dependable, hardest-working team member you could ever imagine.
So what's on this employee's resume? Well, voice AI is basically this always-on, multi-talented worker. It learns incredibly fast, it adapts to exactly what your business needs, and it's on the clock 24/7. And you know the best part? It doesn't need a fancy corner office or a huge paycheck.
All right, so you're probably wondering, how does this new hire actually get the job done? Let's pop the hood for a second and take a look at the core skills that make this AI so incredibly effective.
It really boils down to three main skills. First, it listens. It uses speech recognition to hear what a customer says and turn it into text. Then, and this is crucial, it understands. It uses something called natural language processing to figure out the real meaning, the intent behind the words. And finally, and this is the magic right here, it learns. It uses neural networks, think of them like a digital brain, to get smarter and better with every single conversation it has. Okay, it's performance review time. Let's talk about the real, tangible results this AI employee can deliver. I mean, what are the actual bottom-line benefits you can expect to see?
Let's look at some real-world numbers from a company called Slang.ai, which provides voice AI for restaurants. Get this, a whopping 81% of their calls were handled completely by the AI. A human never even had to touch the phone. That frees up an absolutely massive amount of time for the staff to focus on the customers who are actually in the building. But, just handling calls isn't the whole story. The big question is, were those customers happy with the experience? Well, Slang.ai reported a staggering 93.8% customer satisfaction rate. So we're not just talking about being efficient, we're talking about being incredibly effective at keeping customers happy.
So let's just quickly recap what this all means for your business. You get 24/7 availability, no more missed opportunities after you close up shop. You get much lower support costs, your operations become way more streamlined. And your human team, they're now free to handle the really complex, high-touch problems where they're needed most. It all leads to more customers getting their issues solved on the very first call. And if things get complicated, a super smooth handoff to a person.
Just think for a second about the difference this makes for the person on the other end of the line. I mean, we've all been trapped in that old IVR nightmare, right? Press 1 for sales, press 2, it's awful. This is a total revolution. You go from long wait times and mashing buttons to getting instant answers through a natural conversation. You go from answering the same boring questions over and over to having personalized interactions. It's a night and day difference.
Now, of course, no technology is perfect. It's really important to be realistic about the hurdles. So let's just tackle the challenges head-on and then take a peek at where all of this is going.
So, what are the main roadblocks? Well, dealing with all the different dialects and accents can be tricky, but the new models are getting way better by learning directly from audio. Data privacy is obviously a huge concern, and that's being addressed with constant security updates and strong protocols. And the need to always get better? Well, that's handled by the AI itself. It actually self-assesses and learns from every single call.
Look, the big takeaway here is that the future has already arrived. This isn't some maybe someday technology. Voice AI is being adopted right now across the board in retail, healthcare, hospitality, you name it. It is quickly becoming a core, fundamental part of how businesses talk to their customers.
So let's bring this all home. We've talked about the problem, we've met our new AI employee, and we've gone through its amazing performance review. So what does it all mean for you?
Simple. It means you're looking at your next major competitive edge.
There's a quote from our source material that just sums this up perfectly. Voice AI is all about breaking down barriers. The barrier of a missed call, the barrier of a long wait time, the barrier of a frustrated customer, so that you can get back to focusing on what truly matters, actually growing your business.
And really, that just leaves us with one final thought. After seeing how this works and the kind of results it can get, the only question left to ask is your business ready for its new best employee?